Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M41 HMC, the Tier 5 American SPG, and we're located on the south spawn of Prokhorovka. And it's under the command of Milestone 77. Now, based on the chassis of the Chaffee Chank, you can know that because there's a hexagonal plate at the front. That's where the transmission is. And it looks to me like he's just going to sit here in the middle. Oh, there's a friendly swipe there from the M44. And he's over to the bushes, I think. Wonder why the M44 did that. Maybe he didn't want some company in the centre. He's gone into the bush near the centre line. And Milestone's going into the bushes right at the back of the map. Or is he? No! Oh, yes he is! Just into this area here. I can see now. Okay, he's now aiming for the enemy. There's a KV-2. Been spotted at the back. It's our MT-25 that's doing the spotting. This is a Tier 7 game. And we just saw a E-25. Otherwise known as a Cockroach. Jagdpanther. We're going for him. He's sitting up on the railway line. Nice and stationary. We're dialing in the aim. And he moves before we can shoot. But the Bishop there is moving. But he's very slow. Round out. Direct hit, and he wipes him out. First kill. First kill for his team. Now, they've got sighting on several other tanks in the vicinity. There's a Stug 3G, and it's also a KV-2. The Stug 3 will make a better target because it's lighter armour than the KV-2, which is, after all, a heavy tank. Rounds out on the Stug, and it lands nearby, but we don't know how much damage because we lost sight of the Stug. Now, it's got a fairly long reload, the M41. It's about 22 seconds. At the moment, we're not sure exactly how long that Milestone's got on his one. He's not using Coca-Cola or premium consumables, but he probably does have Brothers in Arms and a rammer. Now, it's a 2.2 seconds flight time to the target point there. Looking for that KV-2. But the building's in the way at the moment. That's why he had a red line. And he's aiming now at that ridge line where the KV-2 was last seen. He's decided to change his target. And he's been rammed by the M44, who's promptly turned blue. Now, why did the M44 do that? That was an absolutely ridiculous thing to do. And Milestone is now looking at the enemy. I don't know why the M44 did that. It was a very, very stupid thing to do. And obviously we'll look at him later. Sloyik is his name. Aiming for the P43. Rounds out. Lands nearby for 8 hit points of damage from Splash. Now it looks like the M44 is aiming for the Tiger P. Lots of damage going in. And there was the Arty round going in. I do not understand it when Arty players act like that. There's no reason to. You obviously, if somebody does park next door to you, then it's up to them really that they're the ones who are causing the problem by being in close proximity to your Arty. But before his Arty round arrives, the P43 is taken out of the game. Now, many of the time, another Arty will come and sit next to me, and I always try and move if that's the case, because you don't want two Artys flying in close proximity, because the tracer will give it away. It'll tell people where you are. You can hear 2 whooshes every time they fire instead of just 1, so it's much easier to spot them. The KV-2 is right up on top of the hill, but we've gone up on the railway line, slightly further away from the M44, and the KV-2's been killed. He was just taken out by the Skoda T25. Now there's a P43 Biz up at the centre line. We're looking at that one now. I believe we've hit that one before, that P43. Dialing in. A few seconds before we're ready. Well, I'm not sure he did any damage there, I'm afraid. Okay, indicating as target. The M44 is going after the P43. Okay, we're virtually completely dialed in. Round out. Oh, beautiful hit. Right on the front. 188 hit points. Good shot. And that's tracked the P43 Biz. And I think that was a shot from the M44. Okay, we're changing targets now. Going for the Jagdpanther. Now, although we've got no tanks on the hill, the big worry is if that Jagdpanther gets up on top of the hill, he can shoot down on our side, on our tanks, with impunity. P43 Biz was seen in that area, but we can't see him at the moment. There's the Jagdpanther again. He's going up on top of the hill, but we're going after the Stug 3. Dialing in. It's a stationary target. 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rounds out. He fires prematurely, but he gets the kill. 35 hit points. I think the M44 hit him first, but he gets the second shot in and it wipes out the target. So the M44 would have picked up the stun assist off that. Now that Jagdpanther is still going up the hill. We're loaded. Fires a round out. Not sure if that hit. Now I think it would be advisable for them now to move over to the west side of the map. And the reason for that is obviously that the only tank that they've got on this side of the map is the M4A3E2 up in the centre line. They've got 3 tanks over on the west side of the map. He fires at the Skoda and it goes long. It really would be a good idea to get away from this side of the map because the Jagdpanther is on this side, and if he's looking down he might see the Arty. And if he does, he might take them out. Now the M44 is now moving in this direction as well. Now I do wonder if that M44 player is coming after us for protection or if he's actually angry with us because we've left him all alone on the east side of the map. We'll have to find out if that's the case. He does seem to be following Milestone 77 and it looks like he's going for another ram. And he is. Yes, he's trying to ram him. I'm not sure if he's trying to push him or do damage to him. I think he is actually trying to do damage. If he was ramming, he would be very gentle about coming up with the movement to push him along. Okay, they've gone into the aim. And they're going after that Skoda, and the Skoda gets hit by the bathtub, the S35CA, and he's taken out the game. I'm not sure, but I think he may have been hit by the M44 just slightly prior to that. But the M44 is blue, so if he does any more team damage, and he has actually damaged Milestone again, but if he does any more team damage, he could be banned immediately. It is cumulative. The more damage you do, the more hits you make. I've seen people fire just 4 shots from a Panzer 1C and be banned automatically on the 4th shot. And the Tiger P goes down for the bathtub. There are only 4 enemy left. One of those is the FP304, the Jagdpanther up on the hill. We've got the Cockroach, the E25, and the 60G FT is taken out by our T67. There's the Cockroach, the E25. He's trying to jinx from side to side. Oh my god, look at that shot on the move! 395 hit points, 155mm shell goes right into the E25's rear and takes him out of the game. That was a superb shot. He correctly judged exactly where the E25 was going to be, even though it was some distance off in the distance, and he was moving at maximum speed back into their own lines. Now, despite what the minimap says about there being a T60, well, actually there is a T67 and an E25. They're at the northwest corner of the map, and they're looking for the Arty, but the FB304 is not over there. He was last seen on the east side of the map in grid square D7. And we know that the Jagdpanther is more than likely going to try and cross onto this side of the map, across the railway line. We can't see him as yet. Now, these pings are actually sometimes when players are out the game, they still like to be the armchair tactician and try and direct the battle even though they're no longer in it. But sometimes they can ping the map too much. It's like the lady doth protest too much. You shouldn't keep trying to push people to do what you want them to. Be distracting for the players. And there is the Jagdpanther, and there's the FB304. And he's aiming for the Jagdpanther. Gets a direct hit for 234 hit points. There's the FB304, and he should have taken that one first because the FB304 is the enemy Arty, and he's already killed the bishop. So if Milestone 77 actually kills the FB304, he will get the counter battery. Now the T67 is capping at the other end of the map, and there's nobody spotting for us except our Arty at this end, the bathtub. And a round went in where the Jagdpanther was last seen, but it didn't hit him. At least there wasn't any explosion by the Jagdpanther as he died, so he's probably changed position. Now the bathtub's moving up. Has he spotted him? There's the Jagdpanther. He did move. And he's now out the game. 71 hit points. That's Milestone's 4th kill. And there's the FB304, and we've just lost the bathtub to the FB304. And the bathtub's changing position. The FB304, the Burt is changing position. We fire a round in where we think he went, and he's now capping. There's a very good chance the FB304 will try to shotgun the M44. Milestone's gone to the aim. The M44 tries to derp the FB304 and pays for it. He's been wiped out. Milestone tries the aim shot and wins! And wins the game with only 13 or 12 seconds left on the cap. He won the game for them by killing the FB304, and that means counter battery as well as 5 kills. And here's the end of battle result. It's an ace tanker for Milestone 77 in the M41 HMC. He did pick up the counter battery. He took out both the bishop and the FB304, which means he earns the counter battery fire medal. There was only 2 Arty on the enemy side. He also picks up the fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 5, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He actually managed to get 10 in that battle. So I think the kill on the E25 has to be the best moment of the entire battle, because that guy was retreating, he was jinxing from side to side, and Milestone still nailed him. Let's have a look at the team scores. Highest damage, 1,544 hit points of damage, but he was beaten by the Jagdpanther, who picked up the high caliber and top gun because he managed 3,389 hit points of damage and 7 kills in that battle. When it came to kills, Milestone managed the highest score on his team with 5, followed by the S35, the bathtub, who managed 3, and the T67, who managed 2, and he also picked up a Confederate. The Oni managed to pick up a Cool-Headed during the battle. The P43 Biz on the enemy team, he also picked up a Confederate, so he must have been the highest number of tanks that hit but not just damaged during the battle. And that was the P43 Biz that kept coming up to the railway line, which Milestone kept on hitting. So let's have a look at detail report. Well, he fired 15 rounds in that battle, got 6 direct hits, 6 penetration, and 3 splash. Damage of 1,544 hit points, of which 1,377 were at more than 300 meters. He hit 6 of the enemy, that's 2/5 of the enemy team, and killed 5 of them, that's 1/3 of the enemy team. He also did damage assistance, or rather I should say stun assistance, of 155 hit points of 4 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 33,614 credits, and he got compensation from the M44 for 395 credits for that team damage that the M44 did. And I think that M44, obviously, something's wrong with him in the brain, because not only did he ram Milestone 77 to get him out of the bush so he could steal the bush for himself, but then he continued to do more team damage to his fellow Arty later on during the game by ramming him from behind. So the total came to 34,008 credits overall, and after repair and ammunition resupply, he still had 26,258 credits. And he earned 1,329 XP. There was no multipliers, so I'm afraid that's all he took away for that battle. But that trick shot on the E25 has to be the highlight of the battle, so well done for getting him. Always nice to see an E25 explode as he's running off into the distance away from an Arty who knows how to play the game. And the win rate for that game was 3,303. Very, very high score. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.